Okay, so I cleared D plus, and I thought I might as well do commentary over it to just like I don't know, give some insight on it. So here I am. I don't know if I'll put this in, but we'll see. Yeah. So this is Dashless Plus. If you don't know what this is, it's a Celeste mod, and it's really hard. But it's basically like 1A. So you know how you've got 1A, you can do 1A Dashless, and you get like a wingberry for it. And like it's cool. They made like a really hard version of that, so you'll see all these rooms are like inspired by those. I think it's actually really cool in that way. I think I remember seeing it like 3 years ago or something when Alex was making it, and they had like it was more like an actual 1A buff. Like it was just 1A complete decoration and everything, but I think it might have been Parrot or something who decided to he said like maybe you should, make this into its own map and have its own deco and everything. So they did. And yeah, it's actually really good. I'm really glad that they did, because it's a lot more interesting having, its own deco and everything. Because it's not just being 1A, it's like referencing it. So you see all these rooms are like, if you can look at their 1A comparisons, and they all look like similar and stuff, which is pretty cool. But yeah, it's quite slow gameplay, I will say, but I actually enjoyed the map quite a lot overall. And as you can already see, like just from CP1, because there's quite a difficulty curve. Like it gets much harder later, but even earlier you can see it's very slow and it's very methodical, I would say. So yeah, I like these rooms kind of to different extents. This one I don't like as much as the others, because one is a little bit annoying because it has a jump that's pretty it's kind of feels RNG based, because you have to do, because when you do a wall jump there's like the pixel that you can actually hit the wall jump, and then there's another 2 pixels on it that are like leniency, but for that you have to hit the furthest out pixel, like the third, so it's out of the 3 pixels, it's the furthest out, which is really annoying, and that makes it like a kind of RNG, to be honest. So I didn't really enjoy room 1 that much, but then I enjoyed room 2 quite a lot, because room 2, 3 are pretty good. Room 4 is a little bit annoying. It's not that like hard, but it's because it's not that long. But I don't know, it's kind of not that interesting, and the first jump's frame perfect, and then it's got the weird, like, failed wall boost thing, so I don't know. Room 5's quite nice. It got quite flowy, actually, surprisingly quite flowy, and it's got some nice ideas. And then room 6, this one has the same thing from room 1, where you do the wall jump in, like, the bottom, with the water, you have to do a jump on the furthest out pixel, which is really annoying. But yeah, that's the hardest room in so far by far. And now this is CP2, so you'll see a completely different style actually, because it basically takes each checkpoint from like 1A from vanilla, and then it just made them different themes and everything. And there's actually, although there's only 3 checkpoints in 1A, there's 4 checkpoints in this map, because the last one is completely like itself. There's no, it doesn't reference 1A at all. They just made original rooms for the end, which gives a bit more freedom and whatever, which was pretty cool. I like that. I switched recording sessions, so I'm just bridging the gap here. This room, this checkpoint, sorry, is like forest themed and whatever, and I like this the most out of all of them. It's a lot more, it's just nice, to be honest. The first one's fine, the third one's, I don't know, a bit blue, and the last one's fine, I guess. But yeah, actually, this room 9, this is the worst room in the whole map. It's absolutely dreadful, and that's basically it. Like, because it's so RNG based, that is unbelievably RNG based, because all the corner jumps are RNG. Or the first thing is just 2 frame perfects, and it's really hard. The spike lift boost is RNG. It's like so unbelievably bad. I actually cleared it last out of all the rooms. I hated it that much. Anyway, I cleared it finally. I had to bind my buttons differently, so I had like on my jump button I had down, so I didn't have to crouch. But yeah. So as you're seeing right now, this is the berry for 9, so each of the checkpoints has its own berry as well. The CP1 berry is in room 6, and it's not that notable actually. There's no extra gameplay. This one's pretty good though. This one's pretty fun. because of the spiked C-pop. I mean, that section was cool, and then the ending, this, is actually really fun. Like, hitting this is so cool. It just feels really cool to pull off, and it's actually not too hard. It is frame perfect, but it's like a 6-frame jump, which isn't that hard. So yeah. And now there's like room 10, which is fine. I should say, room 7 and 8 aren't that notable. They're not that hard. I think I actually first tried room 8, so I don't really remember it that well. Room 10 isn't that bad, but the thing at the end with the like wall kick into neutral and then the perfect neutral on the spikes is really hard. So yeah, you just have to get used to that, because that will be used later as well. And now we're at 11, and 11's kind of chill. It's just like 2 spike neutrals. Actually, it feels quite hard at the start, but then you get used to them, and then you just clear it like quite soon after, because as soon as you get used to those, that's like the whole room. And then half stamina climb at the end, because you know what, why not, I guess. And then, okay, here we are, we're at 12. This is like the 3rd hardest room in the whole map, because of the thing you do in the middle, and I actually quite like it. I really like this room. It's the start is quite like fucking just reset over and over until you get it, which is kind of boring, but it's okay. And then subpixel setup, and then you do the corner jump, and the fall is really hard. And then you have PCJ, which is like by far the hardest thing in the room. It's really, really hard to get used to. It's frame perfect, and it's also really variable, because the frame perfect there is a jump release. And the issue is the jump that you're releasing starts as a buffer, so it's not a consistent jump timing. You could jump for loads of different like frames. It's like an 8 to 12 frame jump. So yeah, but I had like 7 runs past PCJ, maybe 8, and that's what the jump's called, PCJ. And I first tried the final jump, which is a 2F, so I'm really glad I did that. This is room 13. It's not notable, honestly. It's really easy. I don't know why it's here, actually. I mean, I know it's like just the 1A room, but they could have made it slightly harder. It's actually surprisingly easy. And then 14 is just a spike climb, mostly. I actually quite like this room as well. It's pretty fun, and it also transitions into the 3rd checkpoint, as you can see. But the spike climb's pretty hard. I used a bind for it. Like, you'll see my other key come up, because I used a left climb jump, which is an RCB bind for it, because that just makes it a lot easier. You can do it without, though, to be honest. And then there's just the ending jumps, which isn't too hard. I think that jump releases a 3F up there, but there's also a strat like Snippy does to just jump around it instead. You can do either. Now we're in CP3, so yeah, I don't like CP3 as much as CP2, but it's fine. You know, I actually first tried this room, like, I didn't first try it, but the first time to the end, I first tried it, which was crazy, because I also did the strat where you do a, like, perfect neutral, so you release grab, and then just neutral, and then just do the 2 spike, like, neutrals, and I just hit it first try. I don't know how. But this is room 16, which is probably the 4th hardest room in the map, I think, and it's also notable for being really, really long. So you've got the CRJ at the start. There's already been like 2 frame perfect, and then you go up here, and this is like the slowest setup in the whole map. It's a really, really slow subpixel setup to get really, really specific subpixels for the 7 jump. So you have to do 3. You have to do wall kicks until you crouch, then another wall kick, then 3 1F taps right, but you don't have to actually do 1F taps, because you can do a crouch and then hold right and release grab, and that works. Then you go up, 1F tap up, release grab, press grab, 1F tap up, hold down, and it finally works, and you have really, really far upright subpixels, which allows you to do that, and then tight fall, and this whole thing. So this room mostly takes patience, actually. Like, although it's got like 3 frame perfects, it just takes a lot of patience to get used to them, because the actual frame perfects you have to do aren't that hard, because the first one's right at the start, so it's not too bad. The second one is right after that, so it's not that bad. And the last one is the DCB for the 7 jump, which isn't too hard either. And then this is just more subpixel setups for the end, because, you know, why not? Didn't have enough of those. But I honestly, this is the one thing about D+, which is probably the worst thing, I think, which is the waiting. It makes 24 quite boring. And that's the issue. It's a lot of very, very slow, very, very methodical setups that take a lot of time to do. I've heard a lot of people complain about them, actually, is like that was one of the biggest problems with D+, which is fair. I didn't love the waiting, but if you're patient enough, you can get used to it, and it's not too bad. Well, I really took my time with this. Okay, there we go, finally. I think that's a 2F at the end as well, because, of course. This is 17, which is fine. I didn't really like it that much. I've heard other people quite like it, but I don't know. I didn't think it was that interesting or notable, really. The stamina's a little bit annoying, and I don't know. I generally don't like it that much. But it's also not too hard, so that's okay. Yeah, I will talk about the music actually in D+. It's alright. I don't actually like most of the music in it. I like the CP2 music a lot more. And as you'll see in my recording, I just layered it on top. I played the whole map without music, and then I just layered the music on so I can have it go through rooms and not like cut out every 3 seconds, which is, or 2 minutes, I guess, given it's D+. But yeah, so now we're in room 18. This is probably the second hardest, like definitely the second hardest room. And it's made so much easier by recent strats that have been found. But the starts are Gwoost, and it's like 2 frame perfects, I think. Don't quote me on that though. And then you've just got really slow setups again, just more D+ stuff. I actually find the neutrals really hard. For some reason, those neutrals, I mean, not for some reason, they are just hard. But I find them especially hard, even more so than the, you know, the spike neutral, or the spiked, like, corner kick thing, after the 4-tile. Spiked 4-tile, that's what I mean. 4-tile overhang, sorry, people say 4-tile just to mean 4-tile overhang, but yeah. And this is apparently called Jerry. I don't know why it's called Jerry, but it's called Jerry. And this is the berry. It's a 2F and a 1F. In the other order, it's a 1F jump and a 2F turnaround, but it's fully retryable. If you do it early, you can retry it, so you'll see me just retrying it over and over. I'm also doing a setup, like a 1F tap from the right into a pixel, because I saw Snippy doing it. I don't know if it actually helps or not, but I did it. And then I just used some guy's strat for this. I think some guy made it. They posted it at least. Where you just like do a 1F tap into the pixel, and I think I kind of mess around a little bit to make sure I've definitely got the pixel and the subpixels, and then it lets you do the fall much more easily because you get this weird spike grab thing. It does require like kind of not retryable 1F jump though, so if you can't do 1F taps, well, if you can't do 1F taps, you're kind of cooked for playing D+ anyway, to be fair. But yeah, and then the end is just more slow subpixel setups. You do a left climb jump bind. You press that. That's horizontal. Then you do a full jump and then a 1F tap down. That sets up your subpixels. Though you can hold right and then tap down too. Because if you hold right and then 1F tap down, you can see much more easily. And then for this, you actually have to you have to wait until your stamina's perfect, then jump, and then in freeze frames, press right and wall jump. But I first tried that in runs, like my latest death was the fall, so that's pretty lucky. And this is 19. I didn't mind it that much. That jump's pretty hard. It's kind of just frame perfect spam actually. Wall boost is frame perfect. Sorry, the multi-boost at the start. It doesn't look like it, but you have to do a multi-boost where you do 2 jumps off the zippers. It's a neutral and then an RCB, so I used my RCB bind, because of course. Otherwise it's like a triple multi-frame perfect, so I didn't really feel like doing that. And then the ending's not too bad. And that's CP3. So, yeah, now you just do a 7 jump. This is like, it's just a transition room, really. And then you're into the final checkpoint. Some amusing dialogue. Yeah, I don't mind CP3. It's kind of not. I didn't like it as much as CP2 though. Except Room 9. Room 9 is just actually horrific. Never again. I wish it wasn't in the map. It's not even interesting. It's not even interesting. Just like make something that isn't RNG, please. If you want to complain about the RNG in D+, talk about Room 9, because honestly, Room 9 is so bad, and everything else is completely fine. Unless you think like 1Fs are RNG, in which case fair enough. Because they arguably are, because like 1F taps are kind of RNG because of how keyboard like scan rate works. Or at least how inputs in Celeste works. Anyway, I'll stop yapping. This is room 21. Does it not say 21 in here? I don't see the number 21. Apparently it doesn't say 21 here. But yeah, it's actually quite funny. I quite like this room because it's just amusing. It's an 8 jump into a 7 jump into a 6 jump. 6 jump being like jumping over that many tiles of spikes. So it's the first one is like you have to do loads of frame perfects. The second one is a frame perfect, and then this one's easy. Just 6 jump. But they all have subpixel setups and things, and they're hard. But the room overall isn't too bad. I was actually kind of more consistent at 8 jump than 7 jump for some reason, but I don't know. And this is just more frame perfect. It's just loads of 5 tiles. I actually didn't like this room that much. It's kind of boring, but I also fluked it, so there you go. Like, it's just frame perfect there, and then you do that's frame perfect, and then frame perfect. It's too many. I also forgot input display for this room, which is awesome. Yeah. You know, I should take opportunity to say this is I've got Lynn, you see, my friend, and also India. They're in the clear. Like, Lynn, she helped me so much with strats for the thing. Like, she just showed me all the strats for the rooms and everything. I didn't even have to use clear videos for most of it because she just cleared D+, GG. But honestly, she's kind of inspiration for me to start. So, yeah, 23 is really weird. I don't know why it has so many mechanics, but it does. And then here we are. It says 24. This is by far the hardest room in the map, not even close. Yeah, it's hard. It starts with the frame perfect, very nice, and then a really slow 5 tile setup. I think the issue with this room that I had, because I actually quite like the room overall, the issue is how slow quarter 1 is. Like, it takes 30 seconds to get to the point that you do DCB, which is down here, you'll see it in a second, and it's like so hard. It's unbelievable. It's 2 frame perfect, both a frame perfect DCB itself and then a frame perfect release, and there you go. And I only had like 20 quarter 3s or something, because quarter 2s, because so this is quarter. I should say that this room has 4 quarters, each representing each of the themes in the map, which is nice. And another thing which I should say is this room has been absolutely completely destroyed with strats. Originally it had like several frame perfects, now it has like 4, and honestly the ones that are remaining aren't even that hard. Like, this one's a double wall jump in quarter 2 where you have to do a double wall jump up to this wall. Like, you had to do a C pop here before, and the 1x2 sorry, the 2x1 is stupid. The balancing of 24 is kind of bad actually, because it's very, very front loaded, or like specifically DCB and Groost, so that at the start of quarter 2 there's a Groost, which is really, really hard as well, but at least it's not frame perfect, it's like a 2F, because the Groost at the start of room 18 is a lot harder, because that one's actually like further on, and the bigger gap, and that one's harder. So I take my time here in quarter 3, because I got here, like, my PB at this point was like 3 times to this jump. It's really hard. Originally this was a 2F, but now it's a 4F. It's kind of a 2 plus 2F, because there's 2 frames where you just do the 2 frame jump, and the other one you have to roll jump buttons and then hit like a corner jump on it. In the run I just hit a like 2F jump, and I didn't get the corner jump because I didn't need it. I hit it like high enough. And then just 2F C pop again, and then I'm going to shut up because I turned on mic here in a second in quarter 4. And now I'll shut up as well for like 6 star, and I'll talk about, because 6 star is the final berry, which you'll see. And I left my reaction in, which I was glad actually. So there you go. This is quarter 4. It's very easy, to be honest. It's just a don't choke really. Come on, please, 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 please. I'm adjusting the volume. Please, 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 please. I'm gonna be annoyed with myself, and please so much. Yes! Fuck you! Oh my god. Oh. It's done. I don't know. Oh, that. What? I hit it! Yeah, I just wanted it. What? What? What the fuck? Stop putting fucking watchtower on! What? What? Oh! Yes, 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 okay. Okay, right. I think my binds are all fine, so I'm just gonna go for it. They were not fine. They were not fine. What? What? No, what? How did I unpause? What? Oh, please. Okay. Okay, please. Wait, do I have my jump button? Yay! Oh, fucking finally. Anyway, yeah, that was 6 tile. And yeah, it's like loads of multi-frame perfect. So the way you actually have to do it is like by putting a row of keys on your keyboard to the binds that you need to do, which is jump. You hold down plus jump the whole time. Then you jump. 6 frames later, right, left, jump, and then right again. Or climbing, of course. So you just turn on an invert grab if you want. And it's really hard, but actually, you know, it should be hard, but honestly, you just roll loads of keys on your keyboard and then it just works half the time somehow. This is the ending, as you see. It's just some humorous dialogue. Although it's kind of weird because I don't know why they didn't put a flag in so that if you grab 6 tile it doesn't do this, because like it's weird because it assumes you haven't done 6 tile, but I did it. So I don't know why, like I don't know why it doesn't just change it a bit, but yeah. So I'll say thoughts overall really. I quite like Dashless Plus. I think it's a really interesting map, and for what it is, it's actually very successful. I would give it 7 out of 10. I think the biggest problem is the waiting, the amount of slow sub-pixel setups, but that's also not, like... I know that's what they were going for, and I kind of respect it for that, and for being that kind of map, it's pretty good. I really hate Room 9. Everything else was fine. That rhymed. Like... There's no RNG in the other rooms, which makes them a lot more manageable. You know, the bad part was the RNG, and that's what I'd heard people complaining about before, and there actually wasn't much of that, which is nice. So, for what it is, I think it's really good. The way it references 1A is really nice. I think doing that, it does it really well. I like the deco. I love how it has its own personality. And yeah, I quite like it overall. So, there you go. I collect the heart. Yeah. I don't know if I'd recommend it, but if you're looking for something dashless and hard, it's pretty good. Like, if you know what you're getting into, then I think I can recommend it. And obviously, there's the obvious comparison to LXVI. Personally, I much prefer LXVI because it's the type of consistent gameplay that I prefer. But that's how it is. And I will say also, I'm ranking the map entirely by strats. Like, I did full strats basically on every room. I didn't really do any, like, where there was option to do intended, I didn't choose to do intended. So that might change your experience, especially of 24. 24 is, like, so much harder otherwise. Yeah. Look on 24 was okay, by the way. It was fine. It wasn't terrible. I would say if it was anything, it was probably a bit bad and then a fluke, but it was okay overall. Yeah, I don't know. I don't think I have anything else to say, really. Oh, I do, actually. 24, I think, is yellow +2. Like, originally I was thinking it was going to be green, but nah. The waiting at the start, the first 30 seconds, is, like, very dieable and very annoying, and it wastes a lot of time, which is really annoying. But yeah, I recommend it. I recommend the map. If you know what you're getting into, then do it. Thanks for making Alex, because it was a very interesting experience and mostly pretty fun actually. So yeah, thanks.